All right, so we're going to go through club. Here's how we're going to do this. So if I call your name, I'd like you to come up, just stand up here, give Sam a high five, a handshake, a hug. But we do want to take this time to kind of recognize the people who are at the top of the top in the team. And I'll talk through some of the stuff about club. But essentially what we did, and a little bit about Atlantis, where we're going this year. Anybody been to Atlantis in the Bahamas? It's a pretty cool place. And so I wanted to throw some facts up here about it. Found out that there's actually been a bunch of movies that were filmed there, including 4 James Bond films, 2 of the Pirates of the Caribbean, and believe it or not, The Silence of the Lambs. Toward the end of the movie, that's where they end up, so it was partially filmed there, and you don't think of Hannibal Lecter when you think of the Caribbean, but hey, it was filmed there. The casino is the first one that was built with windows that actually allow sunlight in. Now, typically, you go into a dark, dank hole for hours when you're playing cards or slots or roulette, but they actually let the sunlight in, which is very nice of them. They have the largest open-air marina containing more than 50,000 creatures across 200 species. And there is a doctor on call at the hotel if somebody happens to get sick for most of the club trip, like I happened to do last year down in Aruba. So a little bit about the criteria for clubs. Similar to last year, we looked at the top 10% of the quota-carrying teams who are fully ramped in the role for at least 9 of the 12 months of the year. The awards that we're going to give out today are specifically for the North American sales and service team. So there are other team members from the supporting organizations who will be joining us. But we're going off the team members that we have picked here based on the numbers within North America. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up my talking points here for everybody. All right, on the field side of the business, for those of you who are still on the phone, this person is the king of the mountain in field by a fair margin. If you've seen her in action at a trade show or at a dealer event, you know why dealers in her home city seek her out for discussions. She knows auto in and out, and in spite of all the challenges that were thrown at her this year, including a hurricane and the worst flooding Houston had seen in recent memory, she persevered and won out. Congratulations again to Michelle Hart. Now, while this next person has been at the company for almost 5 years, 2017 was his first full year in the field organization. He stepped up to the task and sold over $400,000 in net new MRR while maintaining an extremely high retention rate and handled everything that was thrown at him. He also proved that when the world is your oyster, you better have horseradish. Ryan Poulin. All right, on the manager side, so this person was handed the keys to a team that had a few performance challenges on it to start the year. And halfway through, he was asked to run it in a market that was continuing to shrink. So what did he do? He pushed through, pulled his team back up to finish right at 100% of their goal. I think more impressive than the finish was the fact that he was successfully able to help hire, onboard, and train 6 new people to join the Indy team, most of whom had bang-up years. He's currently down in Texas getting his marriage license. Please congratulate Dan Dion.